Hello and welcome back. This is Vincenz and today we are going to be grabbing a red card from the Supervisor hangar, which we will need for contested zones, to grab the tablets for the Payam Executive hangar. We've been doing these contested zones now for about the last month and they are super fun. You've got PvE combat and you've also got some PvP in there.
Exit protocol is initiated.
So we've been going in groups and farming the cards, and we've been unlocking the Payam ships. I've now got all the Payam ships apart from the Corsair, so I've got the Cutlass, the Sulan, the F7A I think it is, and the F8C Lightning. So the last one we've got to get is the Corsair. And this is step 1 to getting those tablets. You've got to go and grab red cards from the Supervisor asteroid bases. So we're going to check the star map here, and we're going to be heading to PYR 3L5. And as you can see here, this is the Supervisor hangar just next to it, so we're going to set that as our location. I'm always based out of Checkmate, which is quite close to the Payam Executive hangar, and it's also not too far away from the Supervisor asteroid bases. So we're just coming into the area now, and as you can see there's a whole load of rocks in front of us, and somewhere in this big jumble of rocks is our Supervisor base. So when you get close to these bases you will get shot by turrets, so it is advisable that you head in from an angle where you're not going to get hit by too many turrets, and get a safe parking space as close to the entrance as possible. So we're using the scanner constantly, just checking that we're not going to hit any of these rocks. And we can see on the top left here that we've got a load of ships. And there'll be ships of people who've been in previously to grab their red cards. So we're going to look out for the base on the asteroid. There's normally a long spike with a big red light on the end of it. So here we can see the base, and you've got to try and approach this from the bottom and choose a good parking space where you're not going to get hit by turrets. I like to look out for what I call the hot air balloon, which is this big round ball on top of that little structure there, and I head in just next to it. This way we don't take too many hits and we can get in there nice and safe. The ship's in a nice position here, we can just get out and head to the entrance. Getting my gun out straight away just in case there's any players around here. You never know, people can be camping the entrance. So we're looking for the airlock entrance, it's just up over this little ridge. And we'll make sure we're on high alert. And we'll get in, get out, and get this red card as quickly as possible. These asteroid bases are pretty fun. There's always players coming to get these red cards, so it's a bit of a hotbed for PvP activity. And that's the way we like it. So we're just going to head straight through the asteroid base. You can look around all the rooms and you will find crates of ammo, weapons, and some medical supplies. So if you need to stock up on gear, this is a good place to grab some gear. And you do find some rare items in here as well. We'll quickly check a few little crates on the way, see what we get. You can get some good magazines for your rocket launchers and grenade launchers, and that is saving you a fair bit of cash because they're about 3k each in the store. You do get mobs in here as well, so we're just going to head down these corridors, kill them, take a left when you can, and we're going to head down towards the fuse door, which will give us access to the red keycard terminal. You'll notice we haven't got any hit pips here because we're wearing a helmet that isn't suitable for FPS combat. But it's not too bad, and I think it's quite realistic, and I almost prefer it than having those pips pop up all the time every time you hit someone. That guy there's got a shotgun, and you can see straight away one hit takes me down to just over 50%. So you want to make sure you do not get hit by those shotguns, because they really do hurt. Taking my tractor beam off here so that when I press 5 it will pull up my med pen immediately. I think they should set it so that your med pen comes up straight away. You don't need a tractor beam to come up first, and the med pen would be much more useful. The AI are all hiding in little positions, and once you know them they're pretty easy to take down, but if you haven't been here before, just be careful, because they're pretty hard to see, and they've got some serious firepower. On the left is the fuse door, which I'm going to be heading through to get my keycard. And make sure you bring a fuse with you. But you can get one by jumping up the crates that we just saw before, and heading into the air system. That'll lead you to a room where there's a fuse on the wall which you can use to get through this door. I've just put my fuse in there and you can see it is not working. The fuse light is red, and the fuse has got some damage, and this does happen to fuses, they can get damaged. And as you can see on the right hand side of the fuse, it's got the open copper wires showing, which means this fuse is not going to work for this door. I have put the fuse in and now it's pretty much stuck in there, but you can get it out using your tractor beam. It takes a little while, you actually have to push forward rather than trying to pull it out. You can stand there all day trying to pull it out, but it will not come out. I think the trick is to start a little bit further away like this, and then it seems to work no problem. So there we've got the fuse out, and that fuse is completely useless, so we're going to leave it there. And luckily there is another fuse just sat here waiting, so we're going to use that one to unlock the door. I like to double click the fuse and equip it to my chest piece, and then you can just hold G and select the fuse directly, instead of having to put it in your hand and open it manually. Once you open the fuse door, you're coming into the red keycard area, and there are quite a few mobs in here, and they do have some heavy firepower. We like to take the fuse out to shut the door and then just run through, so we keep hold of our fuse and we know no one's going to be following directly behind us. We can see the red keycard machine in that room, so we're going to head round and find our way into it. You can't get directly into it, so you have to take a bit of a sneaky route by jumping up these crates on the right and dropping down into the room from behind. There's a few little jumping tricks here you've got to do, which I obviously didn't do very well to start with, but the second time we get it no problem. So we head up into the service areas, and then there's this little hole and we just drop down. And we're now in the red card room. Here is the red card machine, and it is ready to print. We're going to print this one straight away and get out of here today, but you can hang around. The red keycard does have a 30-minute timer, and if you need multiple keycards, you can hang around, hold the room down, and take as many keycards as you've got time to wait for. So now we've taken that keycard, I'd like to just check it's in our bag, because sometimes it can drop it on the floor here, even though you do pick it up. So always check the floor after you've grabbed the red keycard just to make sure, and check your inventory to make sure it's in there. Dropping down now out of the red keycard room, we can find a few little crates here. And there's always a little bit of good loot down here, so we just check the boxes before we leave. Now instead of heading back to the entrance, we can head down this little elevator, which is the evac elevator, and then we can get out of the asteroid and head back to our ship. So these are pretty easy missions, as long as you don't run into players or a team of players. Just take it easy as you go through and watch out for the mobs with shotguns, because they do seriously hurt. And once you get your red keycard, you can evac, head back to your ship, and you'll be back to base within 15 minutes. We have got a level 3 injury here, but we can heal that up when we get back to base. What's most important is we've got our red keycard, and we can use this to grab the numbered keycards which are available in the contested zones. You've got the contested zones in Checkmate, Obituary, and Ruin stations. Checkmate gives you cards 1, 2, and 3. Obituary gives you cards 4 and 7. And Ruin gives you cards 5 and 6. I'll do a couple of videos to show our run-throughs of the contested zones, and they are seriously good fun, and if you've got a few mates, it makes it a lot easier, and you can have some good PvP battles in there. So from the evac elevator, it's just a short trip back to the Sabre. And once we're back in the ship, we can just put our foot down and get out of the area as quickly as possible. I do like to line myself up and then just literally floor it, because I probably will take some hits as I'm leaving. Straight away you can see we're taking hits, and the ship goes pretty red immediately, so you do have to be careful of these turrets because they do serious damage, and in these small stealthy fighter ships, they will blow you up almost immediately. So just put your foot down and get out of the area ASAP. I'm going to stick in the coordinates back to Checkmate, and we've got our red keycard ready to do our first contested zone. Checkmate is now our home base. We used to have it at Orison, but we only ever really go back there to do Vaughn missions, and there's so much more going on in Pyro, and it's so much more exciting, so much more danger, that we do like it over here. So now in this latest patch, 4.01, we have set our home base as Checkmate Station. Once again, we're always using the scanner to see in these dark, misty clouds in space, and the scanner is an essential tool to living in Pyro. These stations do look pretty epic on the outside, and when you go inside you've got everything you need in one much smaller location than any of the cities on Stanton. So you've got your med bay, your habs, your weapon shops, your armor shops, your food, your drink, everything all together in one floor. You don't have to travel too far to get anything, and it is so much better as a home base. As I mentioned before, Checkmate has got cards 1, 2 and 3 in the contested zone, and this red card will be needed in order to get those cards. You will also need some blue cards to get down there, and they're available in the actual contested zone itself. And it has got a great reward at the end of it, the fact that you earn a ship, and these ships aren't available to buy in game, so the only way you can get them is from the executive hangar. I'll bring you some videos of our hand-ins in future videos, and it is pretty epic when you get in there and successfully claim a free ship. And this is a pretty cool game loop from CIG, really enjoying it. We've got our red card, and now all that's left is to store it in our inventory and keep it ready for when we want to go and do a contested zone. As you can see here in my inventory, we have been collecting cards, and we've been handing in quite a lot of these cards in the executive hangars. So that's it for this video, guys. There's grabbing a red key card in and out as quick as poss. Thank you for watching, hope you liked the video. Please like, please subscribe to support the channel, and until next time, take it easy.